Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is dedicated to the budget bow hunter. This is my Bear Resurgence long draw. I picked this bow up for about $320 and the entire package was ready to hunt for well under $600. If you want a full rundown of the gear and accessories that went into this compound bow, check this video out in the corner. A lot of flagship bows on the market today are dropping between $1,500 and $2,000 just for the bow without the accessories. Now this bow may not have all the fancy features of those flagship models, but it certainly can get the job done, as you'll see later in this video. If you're going to get out and hunt with a budget option like this, it's important that you take the build and the arrow setup seriously. The arrows are a huge part of this video's success. These are Easton 6.5 Hunters. I have a 100 grain brass insert in the end and a 100 grain VPA 3 blade. All together, this arrow weighs about 540 grains. These broadheads are tough as nails, resharpenable, and came in at a reasonable price point to fit this budget bow. So with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoy today's video. It's 5 o'clock on October 23rd. I have yet to shoot a deer. The closest I've come has been in this stand. A few nights ago, I had about 4 does come in underneath me and came to full draw. And I was on the wrong side of this tree. I thought they were gonna walk right below me. They turned and went up around this way to go feed on acorns. And when the deer came into my shooting lane, a little buck came out of the woods on the other side of this field here and pushed all the does right past me, and they never stopped for a shot. It's about 75 degrees tonight. In the shade it's cooler with a breeze, but out in the sun it's about 75. I haven't had a ton of time to hunt this year, but I've got a few good hunts in. Saw some cool action early in the season with some foxes, and whistled up a turkey. It actually roosted in the tree above my head, and then the next morning I got to watch them strut and listen to them gobble and see some really cool fall behavior while they were eating acorns. It's hard to believe that a bird, even of that size, could eat and crush acorns, but they were digging in on them. I've had a few good deer sightings. I've had cameras picking up deer and bears on another property, but I just haven't been able to get good winds and good weather to get out there and hunt them as hard as I'd like to. Seems like every time I get to come out and actually hunt, it gets warm, or the wind switches, or we just have bad weather, bad conditions. But I think the deer activity's starting to pick up. It's been a slow season, but you never know how things can turn around. Lord willing, tonight we'll put a deer on the ground. I sat the rest of the evening expecting a deer to walk out at any moment. With only 8 minutes of shooting light left, that moment finally came. The deer caught me off guard, but I was able to get the camera on just in the nick of time. The other deer just cleared the field, so I'm gonna get down here in a couple minutes and go check my arrow. I think she might have bedded right on the other side of that field edge there where that other deer was standing. She came in so fast I didn't hear her. She snuck right around the edge of this grass line. I had a much better shot at her right under the stand, but by the time I got the camera on her, she was already in another shooting lane. Unfortunately, I just reviewed the footage and that tree is covering up her chest and vitals, so I can't see where the arrow hit, but she did a big mule kick, and that's usually a pretty good sign. I tried to bury the pin right in her shoulder, so unless I jerked it real bad, I think we have a dead deer. I'm gonna get down and check the arrow and let you guys see what that looks like here in a minute. Okay, so I'm down here at the arrow, and it doesn't look terrible, but I just shined my flashlight up there in the edge of the woods, and I see a pair of eyes. So I think that's her bedded down. I'm gonna try to sneak past her without bumping her up. I'm not gonna bother blood trailing right now or anything. I'm just gonna let her lay for probably 2 hours and come back and take a look. With decent blood on the ground and a little more confidence in my shot, I took the next 2 hours to prepare a cooler with ice for when I did finally recover this deer. Well, I found her. She's down. She just expired. It's about 2 hours after the shot now. Not a bad shot either. I really can't figure out why it took so long. A little far back, but that's a double lung shot. It must have exited pretty low. All right, well, here she is. For the life of me, I can't figure out how she toughed it out that long. I feel pretty badly about that. I must have just shot her too low and just got one lung and liver. But at the end of the day, that VPA did its job. I want to talk for a second about the bow that I shot this deer with. This is my budget compound bow. So the whole thing was ready to hunt for under 600 bucks. So I hope this shows you guys you don't have to pay those flagship bow prices upwards of $2,000 just to get into bow hunting. It can be done for less. Take a look at some of those lower price point options and just build yourself a kit that'll work and get the job done. The VPA's definitely put in work tonight. This was their budget offering. It's a 100 grain 3-blade construction broadhead, and the broadhead that I shot this deer with is the same one that I have been practicing with and tuning my bow with. So I touched it up tonight before I came out here and got in this tree stand, and it was plenty sharp, zipped right through this deer, no problem. As some of you guys know, VPA is a channel sponsor, and I'm more than happy to show you guys what those broadheads can do here on the channel. The other sponsor, of course, is Code of Silence, and this year they dropped their Fair Winds collection. This morning it was 45 degrees, and this afternoon it was 75 degrees. Those 30-degree temperature shifts happen a lot here in Virginia, and having a set of clothing that I can wear in the morning and the evening in the same day has really helped keep me in the stand on these warmer days when I've been able to get out and hunt. I am so thankful to have this deer on the ground. It means an awful lot to our family to have the meat in the freezer, and we're about to have our third son here in just a couple of days, so this is probably going to be the last chance I have to get a deer on the ground here during bow season. It is such a blessing to have a deer on the ground. Praise the Lord for a little more meat in the freezer and being able to put this video together to show you guys. As always, I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching, and God bless.